Hello and welcome to Moss Hollow. Today we are having a look at Gore, the paper doll skirmish game by Matthew Willetto, editing by Wes Franks. So this is a little zine from RPG Zine Club. Essentially it's a skirmish game of knights, 1v1 knights. In Gore you play as a single blood-crazed knight battling to the death with other knights in the pit. The pit is anywhere violence happens. It could be a battlefield, a dungeon, or most commonly, a sandy arena. Wherever the pit is, there will be blood. This is a rough pit that we might be fighting in. We'll make a little kind of circle and we'll move across it. But before we do that, we have to create our knights. So let's go through it. We will need, for the rules, you're a knight. There is nothing but you, your opponent, and the pit. What is a skirmish game? One-on-one duels, free-for-all, mishap. You play a knight. Yep. What you need a pencil, 2d6, 1d8, and a d12. Scissors, hobby knife, tape, glue, note card or knight's card, which can be found at the back very nicely. Create the knight. Modifiers. What the knight has: their body, their helmet, their right hand, their left hand. Spells, because your knights can know spells. And then we get into the brawl. Pretty simple to play. On your turn, you can do 2 actions of any combination. You can attack, move, or cast magic. So I assume you could attack twice, or you can move and attack, or attack and move, or all the rest. You knock someone out to 0, they go down to 0 health, they die. And if you win, you gain half your hit points back, and you gain 1 honor. And when you regain 3 honor, the knight is retired. So a very cool book. Love the kind of heavy black art, black ink. It's a couple of advanced rules. You can push someone, you can defend, which means you get to kind of attack back, or you can throw one of your weapons in your hands. We may or may not play with these, we'll see. There's rules for team matches, and they give kind of a sample pit. So this is the classic pit, 12 inch by 12 inch, or an arena, circular 12 inches with pillars in it, for a bit of cover. The death pit, a big pit in the middle and spiky walls. You take damage if you fall into the wall, or if you fall into the pit you die. Or even a dungeon. So they give you a couple of examples. And what's really nice is they have kind of like sprues, like in Warhammer or similar, those sort of games, tabletop games. They have the sprues that you can cut out your knights. So these are the bodies and some of the heads. You can see there's like a loincloth or some armor or a wizard. A couple more body options, wizard's hats and so on. Left hands, shields, you could get a wizard staff and a shield or something, and then right hand. So you could end up with 2 shields or something, I don't know. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to create our knights. It also comes with this little cutout here, which is the pit. So you could play on this, although it's only about 6 inches wide, I think. Or a little dungeon. Dungeons could be fun because they have the grids, so that makes kind of measuring easier. You don't have to get the ruler out. But I think to start with, we're going to create our knight, and I have taken the liberty of photocopying some of the back pages, right? So we'll do 2 knights. We'll do a little 1v1. He says get a pencil. I'm going to get a pen. Just prefer writing a pen. So, oops, our first knight. Oh, what do we need? We need a d6. We have our trusty bag of dice. I've been for God, 20 years. I think we need a d6, a d8, and a d12. Is that what it was? What do we have here? That's a lot of d4s. That's a d12. That's a d8. And actually, we can use this as a d6. Get a bit of variety of dice. Okay, pass that back. So, I think we will create the paper knights. It's kind of fun. We'll play with as intended, but then we might make them out of some bits box we have lying around. So, craft your knight. So a 2d6. That's why we need 2 of these. What is it? 2d6, a d8 we have, and a d12 we have. Great. Tape, glue, knight, no card. Okay, so craft your knight. Stats. For your stats, determine by rolling 2d6 for each stat. Then use the table below to determine the modifiers. Okay, so our first knight. How do we do this? We'll just take this out of here for the moment. Pop it over here so we can see what we're up to. So the first night, is Sir Allard going to make an appearance? I don't know. He might come back. And it's Sir Wilbury, I think, Wilbury? I'll have to double check his name. So the first knight, knight 1, we'll come up with a name after. His brawn is 2d6, so he gets 7 brawn, which gives him a +0 modifier, according to the chart here. His guts, 6 guts, which gives him a +0 again. And his mind, he's 6. So he's kind of below average, I guess. 2d6, you get 7 on average. But maybe he's got some good equipment. So determine what bits and pieces your knight. Roll a d6 on the bod table, an 8 on the helm, and a 12. And twice on the hand table, so 12. So we need one of each. And we'll roll the d12, which is this one. We'll roll this one twice. So we'll say the first one is his right hand. So his body is a d6. So he's in chain. So that gives him an armor of 5, which is pretty... So, well, it's not great, but it's not the worst. So he has got chain, which is armor of 5, right? 5 armor. And then his helmet, I think the helmets don't give any buffs. I think they're purely flavorful, because I mean the armor is determined by this. But nonetheless, on his d8, he got a 5. So that means he has an armet. His left hand, we said it was, we'll do left hand, it's whatever's here. So left hand was a 3. So he has his left hand is a shield, okay, so he's a Bickler shield. Bickler shield, which gives him +1 armor to his armor. So now he's up to armor 6. And his right arm, it's going to be a d12 again. It's a 2, so he's got a sickle. So a sickle shield. So he has an armor of 6. And he has a sickle, which is +1 damage, +1 DMG. The armor, I don't think does anything. At this point, you can cut out all the bits and assemble your boy. Paint him or don't, whatever you want, apparently. Okay. Finishing the night. Use your stats to determine your hit points, your armor, and your mana. Anytime you have a stat round down, hit points are equal to your brawn plus your guts. So his brawn and guts is 7 and 6. So he has 13 hit points. Okie dokie. His grit is equal to half his gut score. So his gut score is 6, so his grit is 3, which is 1, 2, 3. Maybe I should be filling those in instead, whatever. And his armor is his armor trait, which is 6, and his mana is half its mind +1. So he has 4 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, because we might cross them out as we use them, is what I was thinking. So it's a good idea to just, I don't know, I felt this was appropriate. His spells. So you can get a couple of spells. Spells range from Explode, you die instantly, deal damage to everyone around you. Big Stab, you had more damage. Whirlwind, you hit everyone in range. Haste, you can move. You move at the side and you triple your distance. Wow. Blood Rush, you heal the amount of damage you deal. And Smite, when you attack, you double your damage. Pretty good. So what's this guy got? He has... Ooh, we got 1. He got Explode. I mean, if you're going into combat with a spell, a self-destruct spell, you die instantly, deal 6 damage every knight around you. That's a very spiteful knight. He's got a sickle. Explode. Okay. He deals 6 damage to everyone around him. That's sort of his, his petty, bitter. So what is this guy? He's slightly brawny, but he's average brawn, and he's a little below average on guts and mind. He's got decent armor, chain and a helmet, and he's got a sickle and his Bickler shield. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know which one of these. Heard of a buckler shield? Bickler. Is that like I would have thought this was a buckler. I don't really see. Is that the Bickler? That looks like a kite shield to me. Tower shield, Bickler shield, spike shield, tower shield. So I guess it is this one. Maybe it's a typo. It might be buckler. Don't know. Because I guess that's the spike shield, and this massive one is the tower shield, which leaves this is the Bickler. But nonetheless, so he's got I kind of like the sickle. The sickle's a cool weapon, I think. So he will be called, God, what do we call him? We'll call him Eric. Eric the Spiteful. Or Eric the Explosive. So there we go, that's our first night. And then we do it again. So let's go again for our second night. So we roll these 3 dice to see what equipment he's got. So he's got a 2. I think I did do 2 copies of them all, but like for the paper dolls, but maybe it'd be more interesting if they had slightly different weapons. So if we get a thing again, we might re-roll it. For example, he has got the chain cloth again, and I think it'd be more interesting if he doesn't. Do you know what? He's got a 2 for the 3rd time, so screw it. He's going to keep chain. He's also got chain. So that's 5. They have the same armor, that'll make it easier for me, I suppose, to do the maths. His helmet was a D8, and he got a 2, so he has the gladiator helmet. Gladiator. His left hand was a 2, which is a sickle. Ah, come on. No, wait, no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It's a D8. It's a 5, which is the bone club. Bone club. So that's also +1 damage. Okay. And then his right hand. I'll roll the D12 again. It's a 4, which is a dagger. So he's got a bone club and a dagger. Okay, so he has +1 damage. So he's dual wielding bones and daggers. Okay, but his armor, he's got a bless armor with only 5 compared to Eric the Spiteful 6. Let me just make that more clear that he's 13 health. Okay, stats. What are we working with? Bone gladiator. So 2d6. Was that how it was? Have I forgotten how to do this already? Your hit points are equal to your brawn and guts. Yeah, I think it's 2d6, isn't it? Maybe I should have done that first. I should have done that first. Whoops. Okay, so his brawn is... Oh my god, his brawn is 2. That is terrible. I thought Eric was kind of doomed with his self-explode spell, but... I don't know. Guts. 5. Oh, no. Okay. And then his mind, maybe he'll be like a crazy powerful wizard. Maybe, you never know. Okay, 8. Okay. So this guy is very mindful. And he's got a bone dagger. Sorry, a bone club, a dagger, a gladiator helmet. What's his spell? This is kind of the make or break. I mean, he has more mana. So he has to kind of get a good spell. If he gets a 1, I'm going to keep it. Because we kept the other one that we doubled. So 3. So he has whirlwind. When you cast this, you make 2 attacks to someone in range. It's actually not bad. Okay. So he can kind of attack twice. And when he does attack, he does 2 damage. Because he's dual wielding. So it's not the worst. His HP... I forgot to add the modifier, sorry. So his brawn at being 2 is a -2. Oh no. Sorry, that was his brawn. Yeah. His guts being 5 is a -1. And his mind being 8 is a +0. Okay, so he's not great. It's not looking good. And then his HP is brawn and guts, which is equal to 7. So he's almost half the HP of Eric. And I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah, we have his grit, which is half his guts score. Oh yeah, sorry, we're going to do that as well, sorry. So his grit, which will be half his guts, rounded down, so that'll be 2.5, so 2. So he only has 2 grit to Eric's 3. And his mana is half his mind +1, so that'll be 5. Is that correct? Yeah. So he was 6, half is 3, +1 is 4. 8 half is 4, +1 is 5. So 1, 2, 3. So I think he's just going to spam whirlwind. You know, that's the kind of plan. And I think it's going to go poorly for Eric. He's just going to explode himself. But then I guess if he can survive that, maybe that'll be counted win. Maybe he can bait Eric into exploding himself. So this guy is... What are we looking at here? He's got much like this guy. He's got a sickle, a gladiator helmet. He's got a bone club instead. He's in chain. And he's pretty weedy. But he's got whirlwind. So like kind of a weedy, whirlwindy... We'll call him Leaf. Because he's like a leaf on the wind, you know? Leaf the scrawny. Leaf the scrawny. Who's your money on? Leaf the scrawny or Eric the spiteful? Okay. I'm going to go off and I'm going to assemble our 2 noble warriors using these cutouts. Bear with me. And we'll be back. We'll be back for the first bout in Gore the Pitch. All right, welcome back. So we just went off and assembled our boys. So we have Leaf the Scrawny, and here he is, cut out. Not the cleanest of cutting, but quite fun to cut out and assemble. I'll be honest, when I was cutting it out, I was like, oh, this is a bit of a faff. But now that he's assembled with his kind of goofy arms, I'm kind of into him. So we got Leaf the Scrawny. So he is 2 brawn, 5 guts, 8 mind. He has chain armor, which gives him an armor value of 5 and a health of 7. He has a gladiator helm, a bone club for +1 damage, and a dagger for +1 damage. He has only 2 grit, but he does have, what is that, 5 mana, and the spell Whirlwind, which lets him attack twice. So theoretically, he could run up, attack twice, at +2 damage each. Not too bad. So he's a bit of a glass cannon, because he's got no health, and he's unlikely to hit, I think, with the brawn and guts so low. But he's got some mana. He's got he's wily. So we'll pop Leaf down here, Leaf the Scrawny. But let's not forget about who I think is probably, if Leaf is the people's champion, I think Eric the Spiteful is probably the winner's choice. I suspect. So he is chain armor with an armish sickle for +1 attack. Sorry, +1 damage, should say. Sorry, +1 armor. That's what the A is. Bringing his armor up to 6. With chain and shield, and he has a sickle for +1 damage. Now he only has 3 grit. I suppose the other guy, Leaf, only had 2, but he only has 4 mana, and the only spell he knows is explode, so he can just kill himself to explode. So maybe there'll be no winners here today, but that's that. So how do we actually do this? The arena that we're going to fight in is going to be this imaginary circle here. So if we count this as a wall, I'm going to sort of draw an imaginary line between the ruins here. This is in the middle. We're going to say you can't see through it. These are 6 squares. This is an old bit of MDF I had years ago. I used to play D&D on it a decade ago. Just cut it up, cut some lines into it to make a grid. Pretty battered, but that'll be it today. And we won't do any measuring then, because we'll be able to say each of these squares, even though they're not equal, they're going to be 1 inch, if that's how it works. So the 3 attacks, we get to do 2 attacks or 2 actions a turn. Sorry, the brawl. Compose of rounds. 1 round is each knight activating once. That's not focused for you, sorry. Better, there we go. At the start of each round, every knight rolls mind. Starting with the knight with the highest mind roll, players activate their knights going clockwise. Any ties are broken by whoever's the highest grit. A knight can take 2 actions per activation, and a knight can take the following actions in any combination. So we roll mind. Eric will get +0, because there is 6. And unfortunately, Leaf with 8 also gets +0. I was kind of hoping he'd get the wily. I'm kind of rooting for Leaf. I think he's the underdog, but I don't know. Eric's self-explode thing could be fun too. So they do a roll-off. It'll be a roll-off. There's no modifiers. Attack. If your base of your knight is touching the base of another knight, you can attack them. To attack, you roll 2d6 plus brawn. So that'll be +0 for Eric and -2. Oh no, for Leaf. Plus 1 of the knight's hand modifiers. Okay, so +1 for the sickle, I guess, and +1 for the bone club. Fine. Compare the total damage. +1. Roll 2d6 plus brawl mod +1 of the knight's hand modifiers. So I guess it's kind of pointless dual wielding. If your damage is greater than their armor, you do damage. Okay, if your damage is greater, compare the total damage to the opposing knight's armor. We'll learn by doing, but I think that's fairly self-explanatory. They reduce their HP by the difference. Okay, so basically, higher than a 7. 6 he'll shrug it off, but he gets a 7, he'll take 1 damage. 8, he'll take 2 damage. I think, plus the damage from whatever. Anyway, move, your knight can move 3 inches move, so that'll be 3 squares. On this, if your knight moves while their base is touching another knight, that knight can make an attack. An attack of opportunity if they roll away. However, they're going to roll 1d6, which means he basically won't be able to kill him, because on 1d6 he'll never get higher than a 6. Although he gets +1, so I suppose he could. For his bone club, or his dagger. Magic, you can cast a spell. You'd spend the mana cost of the spell. Oh, right. So Whirlwind costs 3 mana. Explode costs 2. So he kind of only has one whirlwind in him, because he only has 5 mana. That's a bit of a game changer. Okay, so he's got one kind of pushing him. Whoever survives. Okay, let's begin. So we'll say Leaf the Scrawny is kind of coming from this side here. And we'll say Eric the Spiteful from over here. So we'll keep Eric's card over here like that, and we'll keep Leaf. We'll pop him up here for easy reference. Okay, let's go. So Eric rolls, and he gets a 3, and Leaf gets a 6. So Leaf does get the jump on him. Leaf is going to move forward 3. We'll say he can move diagonally. 1, 2, 3. That's his first action. He could run another, but I think he's going to keep his distance, and he's going to try and do one of the advanced actions. He's going to try and throw, because I've realised having 2 weapons is kind of useless otherwise. So choose one of your hand weapons and throw that bit distance. Oh no, equal to your brawn. His brawn is... Well, his brawn is 5. Equal to your brawn. So you can throw it 5 and make an attack with that item, then remove the card. So is he within 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's not. Leaf is going to rethink. He's going to run up, think he's going to throw, he's going to rethink, and his second action he is going to move 1, 2, 3 and kind of hide away. So then it's over to Eric. So Eric is going to, I think Eric wants to get in the mix because he's not going to throw. So he's going to move 3, 1, 2, 3, and then he'll go 1, 2, kind of shuffle around 3 like that. And then it's over to our man Leaf. So Leaf will go, I think we'll go 1, 2, move 2, 3, and then he's going to throw. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just within range. And he'll lob his... I think the easier thing to throw is probably the dagger. But maybe you keep the dagger. He'll throw the bone club. He's just going to lob a club at Eric. So what do we do? Choose one of your hand weapons. Equal to your brawl. Make an attack action. Alright, come on, Leaf. This is for first blood. So you roll 2d6 plus your brawn. So -2. Oh, good roll. He rolls a 10. -2 would be 8. Plus one of the hand modifiers, so that's 9. So the total damage to the opposing knight's armor. So he does 9, and he has 6. So Leaf actually lobs the club and does 3 damage. So he brings Eric down to 10. Good man, Leaf. Okay, that was a pretty good turn. He's still got more health than you, Leaf, but you know, we'll see. So that was as he moved, and he's just an action. I suppose he could throw the other one, but then he's got no weapons. Maybe he'll have to. Maybe he'll have to throw both and then just whirlwind with like his punching fists. But no time to think about that because it's back over to Eric. And Eric is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to be kind of position them so they're a bit more visible on camera. The boys. Oh, I can't really zoom in on them. Anyway, they're over here. They're fighting. So Eric that's his move. So Eric gets 1 attack. So he's going to roll 2d6 plus brawn. His brawn is 0, so he gets a 6. Oh, he gets a 7, I suppose, because he gets +1 from the sickle. And Leaf's armor is only 5, so Leaf will take 2 damage. So Leaf goes down to 5. Not looking good for Leaf. Oh no. Leaf, in response, is going to burn his mana, and he's going to cast Whirlwind. He's going to spend 3 mana, so 1, 2, 3, so he's down to 2. What is Grit? How does Grit work? I suppose Grit is added to your... It's added to your Grit is half your Guts score. I feel like Grit is useful for something else. Maybe I'm wrong. Hasn't really come up yet. You haven't had to roll anything for Grit. Maybe it comes up later. I don't know. Maybe it's for like resisting and stuff. Okay. So he's going to attack. So he's going to cast Whirlwind, his magic spell. You cast a spell, you spend the mana cost. If you know the mana, you spend... Oh, you can spend HP. So he could Whirlwind again. He could do a bit of blood magic. So let's see, what's he going to do? So he's casting Whirlwind. Whirlwind, when someone casts this spell, make 2 attacks at someone in range. So he's within range, so Leaf is going to come out with his first attack. So this is his first action, is the magic spell Whirlwind. And this is going to let him attack twice. So he gets a 10, -2, because he's not very brawny, makes him an 8. But +1 for his dagger, brings him up to 9. And 9, he has 6 armor, so he does another 3 damage. Oh, okay. So that brings Eric down to 7. I am rooting for Leaf, but I don't want Eric to get trounced, you know. And then his second attack with Whirlwind It's a 4, and a 4 minus 2 brings him to 2 plus 1 is a 3, so that does not hit. But Leaf is going to, he's going to risk it all, and he's going to attack again, and he's going to cast Whirlwind. As his second action to cast Whirlwind again. He'll lose 2 mana, and he'll spend 1 of his health, and he'll go down to 4 hit points to try. I mean, he has to kill him, or else, you know, he's only got 5 armor and 4 health. Like, you know, Eric's going to get 2 attacks on him next turn. So I think he has to do this. So the first attack, it's an 8, pretty good. Minus 2 brings him down to 6. Plus 1 for the dagger makes him a 7. A 7 versus the thing of 6. Oh, he gets him down to 1 hit point. So he removes 1 hit point, so his 7 becomes a 6. And then Leaf, you have to do 6 damage this turn. Right? I think you're not long for this world. So Leaf second with the Whirlwind. He gets a 7. Minus 2 makes him a 5. The minus 2 brawn is really hurting him here. 5 plus 1 is 6, but 6 is equal to his armor, so no damage, Leaf. And now it's Eric's turn for vengeance. So Eric is going to just do a humble basic attack for his first action. He gets 7 plus 1 makes that that is a 5, isn't it? Yeah. 7 plus 1 is 8, which is 3 higher than Leaf's armor of 5. So Leaf goes down to 1 hit point. Okay, Eric, you gotta get this. His second attack, he rolls double 1s, and he has no brawl modifier, so that's a 2. So actually, Leaf is still in the fight. So it's Leaf's turn. He can't Whirlwind. He doesn't have any mana, and he only has 1 hit point left, so he can't do blood magic. So he's just gonna try and just do a basic attack with his dagger. He gets a 5, minus 2 makes it a 3, plus 1 for the dagger is a 4. 4 does not beat 6, and his second attack, I think he needs like double 6s basically. Oh, he gets a 4. So again, it's a bitter struggle. Leaf, you know, again, it's 2 plus 1 makes 3. 3 doesn't beat 6. So we go back over to Eric. Eric swings. Eric gets 5 plus 1 is 6 against 5 armor. That's it. He reduces him to 0. So Leaf is unfortunately no more. And as much as I like Leaf, I think the as expected, he was not long for this world. So I don't really want to rip him up. It feels a bit, well, maybe I should. You die in the game, you know, you die in real life. So we have our champion. So our champion today was Eric the Spiteful. Pretty fun, actually quite, I don't know, I thought the rules were pretty good there. I thought it was pretty intuitive. It was kind of fun making the model, rolling the rando effects. So he regains half his max hit points, so he regains 6 hit points because his max is 13. They round down, so he goes up to 12. So he's back up to 12 hit points. He gains 1 honor. So we'll color this in. And if you survive, if you get 3 honors, you get to retire. So he'll have done his time in the pit. It's a good place to call it, I think. So we will call it there. That was Gore by the Paper Doll Skirmish Game by Matthew Willetto from the RPG Design Club. And if you're interested, we might play some more. We might play a little bit more. Maybe see if Eric can progress. Maybe he can retire without having to explode himself. Maybe there'll be a team match. Maybe he'll team up with someone. I do like the paper dolls, but I think I prefer physical models a little bit more. So I might see if I can remake this guy. I don't know if I have the right equipment, if there are the right bits in the bits box, but I might try and remake Eric the Spiteful in 3D. So goodbye. Thank you very much.